I've got 2 series ideas, which one should I pick? How about both at the same time? That should do the trick. 22 full years of questing, no breaks or death, this will be fun. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2001. Welcome back to June 11th, 2001. I'm trying to justify having this emerald and diamond in my inventory here. And so, I need to do some training. There's going to be a lot of training this episode. And a lot of updates. And not completing a quest. For reasons that are going to be abundantly clear once we get there. For starters, crafting. We have level 12. And I want to get level 43. So that is a significant chunk of experience. And I want to see how realistic this is going to be. Currently, our main option for getting crafting experience is clay. So we're going to start a lap here and see how far we get. Mining the clay is a very easy part of this. Gets a little bit of mining experience, a little bit of clay. So that's all good. Just need to click pretty much once per the stamina bar. Just ends up just working out perfectly fine. Which seems pretty good to me, all things considered. Gonna get an inventory worth. An inventory being very loose words here, since we have all these extra things cluttering it up. What if we get what we have left of an inventory full of clay? We're gonna run over to a water source and then run back here to Barbarian Village. There's a water source here in Barbarian Village now, but I don't think there's one there. And it's not an accurate location of where I would have gone, since it's not there. The mine is already in the wrong location, so running over to Varrock is the most correct way to do this. Where we also need to deal with the making clay into soft clay situation. There's a bunch of weird delays and unnecessary bits if we want to actually use the buckets correctly. Like, filling from the fountain brings up this interface unnecessarily. Then if we don't run 2 squares away, the soft clay automatically goes in the fountain anyways. So, from the interface slowing things down, it's roughly equivalent to just make the soft clay here. So that's fine. We still have the buckets using up the inventory space. We fill the bucket, make the clay. This is fine. If I could actually just use the bucket on the clay and it just went more quickly. Maybe if we only just had one bucket, it might actually work fine. I don't know. But we were bringing this clay back to Barbarian Village, where the wheel is and the kiln is, where we are now going to be able to make bowls, because bowls were added. So that's nice. A little bit more experience than the pie dishes would have been. Just another opportunity to look at the fact that waiting for updates is going to get us more experience doing things. So that's good. If we form at the potter's wheel here, you make unfired bowls. Beautiful. And get a nice chunk of crafting experience. There's level 13. But we are not done yet, as we have even more bowls to make. And then the heating process too. Really is a sizable chunk of experience here. Because this is even more. And that is an achievement to make a bowl here. Brilliant. And another crafting level. My goodness. Of course, these were only levels 13 and 14, so it's not like we're getting a crazy amount of experience here, by any means. 33 experience per bowl. Then I guess possibly technically one more experience because we get the random token experience for making the soft clay. And then each inventory here, we got 22 bowls. So, that's something. Finish up the rest of these. Definitely feels like the firing is the slower portion of this. And also, unfortunately, the less experienced portion. But still better than going and getting an entire extra inventory of clay every time, so this is fine. We finish this up. Not quite get another level here. And this is 5 minutes for 748 XP, which basically comes out to roughly 9,000 crafting XP an hour, which is way better than the smithing XP we were getting. So, honestly, can't complain about that. We got cut jade, jade ring, impied bottoms, and clockwork soldiers, and several other boots at 13. Watercrest hoods, and impied tops at 14. None of these exist yet. And then unfortunately we need to drop the bowls, so I guess we could say it was more like 6 minutes. Nothing else we can do with all these bowls, unfortunately. They're just kind of in the way. So maybe make it more like 8,000 XP an hour. That's still pretty good though. No real complaints there. I'm going to do a little more crafting. Managed to get 15 crafting on the wet clay experience there. Wild. And there's a whole bunch more things. Lots of stuff in crafting, my goodness. We got snail helmets, crab shell armor, fragile cooking urns, fragile woodcutting urns, sub-leather coifs, and impied books. Which apparently also requires a rune crafting level. That's interesting. None of these things exist, so we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we're just going to head back to Barbarian Village and make a whole bunch more bowls. Oh boy. And there is 16 crafting. Get these bowls of fire in here, and look at what we unlocked. That is a quest requirement. Fragile divination urns, opal necklaces, topaz rings, impied wands, sub-leather shields, wildercrest shields, wildercrest row bombs, cut red topaz. Those don't exist. And holy symbols, which also don't exist, but don't exist for a much shorter amount of time. We are actually going to be able to unlock that before we have any problems with another quest. So here is another one of those times where it would make the most sense to move forwards. We can test out to see if silver into holy symbols would be a relevant training option here. If it's faster than clay, we would have to see. But there's also the added benefit of being able to potentially do something with the holy symbols at the end. So I think it's worth investigating. Also, 17 crafting. For fragile mining urns, fragile smelting urns, unholy symbols, sub-leather chaps, impied shields, and fragile hunting urns. A whole bunch of things that don't exist. Even though the holy symbol is coming soon, unholy symbol is later. So we're not going to worry about that right now. Instead, we're going to go worry about... Well, I guess we are going to worry about that right now. But by right now, I mean start moving towards holy symbols existing. Among all the other updates that are about to happen here. Because it's about to be a lot. The first update for today is a small but impactful one. With the new addition of prayers that actually do things, people now want to train prayer, unsurprisingly. And they are finding that it is actually very slow. So much so that on June 12th, 2001, the experience given for burying bones was increased by 50%. Previously, it was 2.5. Now it is 3.75. But then later it's also changed to what it currently is, which is 4.5. So we're getting closer to an accurate amount of prayer experience. So that's good. And that was the only thing changed on this date. Small, but made training a skill 50% faster. So impactful. Very cool. Next up, on June 20th, 2001, not really a update per se, just an interesting anecdote. One of many that I found while going through all the news posts and updates. The password recovery system was changed. Previously, it was all done with emails, and now there are 5 security questions that you have to set your answers to and remember. Presumably, people are having a hard time with their emails. Password recovery systems. It's always a thing. And now something with a little bit more substance. On June 23rd, 2001, we got another crafting update. This time, it's leather. Presumably, this was going to be part of the tailoring skill originally. But tailoring was removed, so here we are. We killed 3 cows. We'll say that's the cow we killed last week. Here's 3 cow hides, which were also added here. So you take your cow hides and head over to Al-Kharid. Go through the gate that I can go through for free, which also doesn't exist anymore, etc., etc. And bring it down to the new tanner. Tan hides into just regular leather. That's the only thing that's here. For 1 coin each. Very cheap. Very cool. I suppose we can get the rest of our coins out of the money pouch here. That'd be a reasonable idea. Would like an option to not put coins in the money pouch, but that wouldn't really make sense to add at this point. That's just for me here. Withdraw all the coins, and we've got a total of 54,828. Beautiful. And then we just need to pop on over to the brand new crafting store here in Al-Kharid. It's got the same kind of things that you can find over in Remington, but also needle and thread now exists. So that's cool. And then we use the needle with the leather, and we have options. But not exactly these options. Much like with the other bits of crafting, the levels were all over the place at the start here. Originally, this update added the ability to make leather gloves, at level 1 crafting, leather boots at level 2 crafting, and leather armor at level 7 crafting. This was later changed, or I guess the gloves were kept at 1, the boots were changed to level 7, and the body was changed to level 14. So, made it significantly more difficult to craft leather. And by the looks of things, this was changed in 2002. And then, much later, in September 2019, all these starting leather bits, except for the van braces for whatever reason, were changed to level 1 crafting. So, whichever way we want to slice it though, we already have the crafting level. We can make any of these in any iteration. Let's just see which one gives the most crafting speed, and it's the leather body. Really makes ever making leather boots or gloves after the 2019 change a really bad idea, because they use the same amount of leather and they would give less crafting experience than the body. Also, thread was removed as a requirement, which is also interesting. There we go. A couple leather bodies. Very nice. We can just pop on over to the general store here, sell these, because we really don't need leather bodies. I guess once we get around to wanting to train ranged, we could come and make a few bits of leather. Well, that's not too important. We can sell these for a whopping 6 coins. Oh boy. It's something. And also included in this update was a change that made people no longer get randomly added to your friends list. Apparently that's a thing that happened. You would just get random people added to your friends list. That's pretty wild. I don't think we're really going to worry about the leather crafting for train crafting. Could theoretically get some combat experience out of the business, but as we saw at the end there, the value was not too high. So we have other options. Next up, we've got a small update here taking place in the Dwarven Mines. On July 12th, 2001, the Black Hole was added. Functions as a location for band players to be put in, which is interesting. And this led to the creation of the Disc of Returning, so people could go visit the Black Hole because it sounded like a cool place. And you got the Disc of Returning buying it for 10 coins from a dwarf named Thorder, who was right here before. But it was all a bit of a mess. People would drop their Discs of Returning, which was the only way to get back out of the Black Hole. And then they would be stuck there, and then the mods would have to go and save them, because there was no other way to get out if you didn't prepare correctly. And so the Black Hole was removed in December 2001. The Disc of Returning did stay, though, and became a discontinued rare item. And later, we'll be able to return to the Black Hole. Not exactly in the same way it used to be, and it all part of a future update. That's not for right now. For right now, we are moving up, out of the mines, and over to the monastery, which was also updated at this time. Previously, it was just the ground floor here, and there was an altar you could recharge your prayer on. Apparently that's gone from the bottom floor here at some point. But that's not too important. What this update added was effectively the prayer guild up on the upper floor here. Only members of our order can go up there. Well, can I join your order? No, I'm sorry. I feel you're not devout enough. 31 prayer is required. If we had 31 prayer, we could go up there, enjoy the new altar that gives you a +2 prayer points boost when you use it, which is pretty cool. Pick up some monk robes, which have a nice prayer bonus, allowing you to keep your prayers on longer. And also, talk to Brother Jared, who can bless unblessed holy symbols. And that is really what we're interested in here. In order to make the unblessed holy symbol, you need a ball of wool and a unstrung holy symbol. To make the unstrung holy symbol, you need a silver bar and a holy symbol mold. To make the silver bar, you need a silver ore. You get silver ore from silver rocks, and those now exist. So, that entire process is now a thing. And it is what I want to go check out. We have an accurate silver mine over in Alcarid. It's a good location for everything we need to do. So let's get over back to Alcarid. First up, we're going to need a holy symbol mold. Eventually, pretty much everything is on the tool belt, but not for a long time for us. So, 1 holy mold in hand, along with our bronze pickaxe, and we can head up to the mine. It is full of scorpions, but they are non-aggressive, so that's nice. I can definitely work with that. Level 14. So technically they probably should still be aggressive. But here we can find silver rocks. Our pickaxe is still too low level, of course. But at least we can actually mine the silver. And that's an achievement. Amazing. Also, forgot to start my timer. Alright, let's get the next silver here. Drop that. Alright, now let us actually, because this is important. Depending on how much experience this is going to be, this could be the crafting training method. So, once more, with timing. Begin. Silver ore from the silver rocks is level 20. It has the exact same stats as a rock, as coal does. And we've been mining plenty of coal, so we got a good idea of how this is going to go. Could be quicker, but really can't complain with our bronze pickaxe at this point, so this is acceptable. Also, we get plenty of mining experience, which is good. Typically, I would not be too excited about getting the mining way above the smithing, but since we're moving towards Mithril as our next unlocks, that actually requires 55 mining, but only 50 smithing. So, getting some additional mining levels here wouldn't actually be a bad thing. Overall, the mining portion of this is probably going to be slightly slower than the mining portion of making steel, since that also involves iron, which is faster to mine than coal or silver. But then we don't have to do the whole actual smithing portion, which did take quite a while. With the mining and smithing rework, smithing takes a lot longer per item. Since we're just doing the smelting and crafting, those are much quicker. And I guess technically that's going to mean some smithing experience here too. Although if the other bar smelting is anything to judge on, it's going to be very, very minor amounts of smithing XP. Really did get nerfed quite heavily, and all the experience shifted into the actual smithing portion. But that's fine. We will manage. Making sure to keep my stamina up so we can actually mine. Because if you let the stamina go, it is just far, far too slow. Can't be having that. Especially when we're trying to get a best possible timing this right now for the optimal XP rates we could expect to get here. Only a few more here. Definitely slower than mining the clay, that's for sure. I was like, what, 1 clay per hit? Super easy, very convenient. So this might end up being slower, just time-wise, but it's also more experience, and as we will see, the end product is actually much more useful. So, pros and cons, most likely here. Probably more mining experience, so that's a plus. I mean, it's more mining experience because we have to do more mining in general. There we go. Full inventory of silver for a given definition of full inventory. I guess technically we could wield the pickaxe, sell the mace. That would give us another inventory space. But then I would have to go make another steel mace later, so Optimizing all of this, I suppose. Bring this all down to the furnace in Alcarid. Conveniently located for us here. And smelt some silver bars. Smelt the silver. Just smelt the silver, please. Let's go. You're ruining my smelt. I don't want to smelt silver. I need to make silver. Where's the silver ore? There it is. Alright, we're going to need to do a retiming on this. I can do that. Automatically going to things that aren't what I'm trying to use here. The mining and smithing rework, ladies and gentlemen. And we can't even put silver ore into the metal bank here. That is actually a quest reward. Not that we would, either way. But still. 3 whopping smithing experience per here. So, it's something. It's something. And then we take the silver bars, go back into the furnace. Try to click on the correct thing this time. Wouldn't that be helpful? Silver crafting, unstrung symbols, begin. And these are 50 crafting experience each, which is really good. Look at that XP bar. Look at it go. XP circle, I suppose. Either way, we're getting levels here. My goodness. And there's going to be all kinds of crafting unlocks. Everything in crafting is a giant mess at the start here. So we're not going to really worry about what we should have been able to craft, since pretty much everything was increased in level. And we wouldn't be able to craft it at a lower level anyways. So that's okay. Then we take our holy symbols. Or, they're not holy yet, they're just unstrung. Bring these over to the general store, where we have to see how this is going to work. We trade the general store, sell for 60. That is the low alchemy price, I believe. Technically, the general stores don't work quite how they used to. Should be giving a different value based on the amount that you sell. But it starts around low alchemy. And that's slightly less than that, so about 60 would be right. And technically we would be able to hop worlds to get better prices. And there's time. So that was 7 minutes. We need to go and discount the additional time we were just standing around not knowing how to smelt. Okay. Retimed to 6 minutes 45 seconds. 1,150 experience per inventory here. Equates to 10,200 crafting XP an hour and 12,300 GP per hour, which is absolutely phenomenal for us. This is the way to go. With 12,000 GP per hour, I can actually get places. I'm going to see what my crafting level gets to. This is going to be my go-to money-making method. Nice. Anyways, we're also getting a bunch of crafting levels here. So, what do we get? Level 18, we got Fragile Rune Crafting Urns, Fragile Farming Urns, Wildercrest Orbs, Wildercrest Robe Tops, Clockwork Dolls, Silver Sickles. Cool. And 19 was a crafting requirement, magic strings, plant pots, sub-leather bodies, leather shields, and none of those things are things. We're definitely moving here. I guess we also need to consider that we might get geodes from this. That's going to slow us down slightly. But eventually, we might get enough geodes from that we could pop open another gem. And that could have many uses for us. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this for a while. Seems like a really good decision. 20 crafting. Well, that is a quest requirement for so many quests, apparently. The Milestone Cape level 20, Conductors, Bright Leaf Gloves, Spider Silk Gloves. But what we really care about here, cut sapphires and sapphire rings. So we can actually do something with a sapphire now. So that's pretty cool. And then also level 21 for vegetable sacks, fungal ponchos, silver crossbow bolts, parallel van braces, and spider silk boots. None of those exist. But yeah, this is experience. It's quite the experience. 22 crafting. That is sapphire necklaces. So another thing we can do with sapphires. Bright leaf shoes, spider silk hoods, and opal bracelets. Not that making a sapphire necklace, or really a ring either, is actually very helpful. Because they don't actually do anything yet, but sure. And 23 crafting. Sapphire bracelets don't exist. Neither do tiaras, sextants, pearl leather boots, or spider silk robe albums. So, yeah. Bracelets are later. 47 mining. Well, that is a quest requirement. And better adamantite and luminite rock opportunities. Yeah. 24 crafting. Sapphire amulets. So now if we got a sapphire, we could turn into an amulet. And then I guess we need magic level too. To make a amulet of magic. Also, bright leaf hood and spider silk robe tops. And also, silver does not give any geodes, so we're never going to get any gems from this. So, that idea is kind of done. Although then we would also need gold, so Eh. 25 crafting. More quest requirements. Hard leather cowls. Pot lids, oak pyre ships. Required for the gem bag. Making pear leather coifs, spider orbs, hard leather gloves, and jade necklaces. None of those things. This is very fast. It really is. We're gonna get another level here? Looks like a yes. Oh. Here we go. Level 26 crafting. That is accursed urns, oil lanterns, blank leaf robe bottoms, spider wands, blank leaf shields, and pear leather shields. Brilliant. None of those things. 27 crafting. Now we can use emeralds. Not opals. Opals don't exist. Emeralds. There's opal right here. Cut emeralds and emerald rings. So technically we could use this emerald we have here and make an emerald ring. Not gonna do that. That's for something else. Also, pear leather chaps, spider silk shields, hard leather boots, and opal amulets. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. 28. Crafting. Hard leather body, hard leather chaps, watch, bright leaf robe, and bright leaf orb. Hard leather is not a thing yet. And even when it originally is, there's not the full set of hard leather. So, just regular leather. For now. 29 crafting. That is emerald necklaces, which we can now make. And then pear leather bodies, hard leather shields, and jade bracelets later. Getting closer to the time when we won't be getting an entire level per inventory, which is going to be unfortunate, but XP goes up every time. 30 crafting. That's an achievement. And many quest requirements. Milestone Cape 30. Yak hair into rope. Emerald bracelets. Clockwork penguins. Roseblood gloves. Carapace gloves and batwing gloves. That's a lot of hand slot items there. My goodness. But none of those things exist. Good milestone level though. Always nice to get the 10s. 31 crafting. And that is a quest requirement. Arch leather van braces, carapace boots, batwing boots. But what we are really after here, and our first goal here in crafting, the emerald amulet. We can go and make that. It's going to be slow going because we need to get the gold. As far as I can tell, the gold bar that spawns in the bank vault in the Varrock West Bank isn't really there at this point. It is there, but you can't telegrab it, and then it was changed because people got inside the vault, and then there was gold nuggets at some point, but it's all a bit of a mess. And we don't have the magic level anyways, so I'm just gonna go and spend like probably 10 minutes mining a gold again, because my goodness, does the bronze pickaxe not work. But then we're also going to need an amulet mold. Let's pick that up. Very good. Very good. It looks like our slightly higher mining level is actually paying off here. So instead of taking like 10 minutes to mine this gold ore, it only took 2. So that's a big improvement. Mining level, very helping. Very cool. And we take this, bring it down to the furnace. Guess we also could have done an inventory of silver there, since we were in the mine anyway, but it's fine. Just dealing with this right now. We got our gold ore. We need to turn this into a gold bar, which we can do. Right here actually. Gold bar. And then back in here, gold casting, emerald amulet. That is what I want, yes. And this is the emerald we got from Pirate's Treasure. So it's really becoming a treasure with a little bit more work here. And now we need to string the amulet. But for that we need to go get some wool. And to do that we need to cross the agility style, which unfortunately gives agility XP. It's awkward, but we need to be able to get balls of wool. And singular bits of agility experience aren't a huge deal. There is some concessions that have to be made here. And this is fine. Do I need any more balls of wool right now? Not really. I don't think we're going to worry about getting any extra here. There's our wool. Perfect. Cross back over here. More agility XP. Rude. Don't need the shears. Don't need the amulet mold. And I think we're going to be moving on to other things right now. So I'm going to drop the holy symbol for now. Or the holy symbol mold. We can always get more of those. That's fine. And then we bring our wool to the Lumbridge Castle here. Get over to the spinning wheel. Very easy. And technically this also now actually does give crafting experience, so there you go. 2.5 XP. Brilliant. Apparently this process also does give 4 experience. So that's something. So now we have an emerald amulet. It doesn't do anything yet, because it's not enchanted. But for inventory's sake, we're going to put it on. The Amulet of Accuracy is not very useful for us, since it only does range. So we're upgrading from this amulet to this amulet. Very cool. We could probably sell the Amulet of Accuracy. I don't know if that's actually worth what it says it's worth. Alch values and stores, it's all a bit of a mess. So, going to the general store here. Get the Amulet of Accuracy. Should sell for like 40-ish coins. Sells for 1,500. No, that is nowhere close. Alright. Just have to drop that. But now, we have this Emerald Amulet, and we want to, obviously, enchant it. And that requires 27 magic. And so, I'm going to go train some magic. We don't have the Cosmic Rune yet, so that's going to be another thing we're going to need to worry about at some point. But we can actually just go train some magic. So, I'm heading to Zaf's Staff shop. Here's Zaf. We're going to buy a Staff of Air. And with this, we will be able to just use magic. Main hand set to Airstrike. We don't have any magic armor, so that's not going to help by any means. But we also don't need mind runes anymore for Airstrike. So this will be acceptable. If we had to buy mind runes, they're like 4 times more expensive than they should be. That'd be ridiculous. So this is alright. It's not going to be good experience. I mean, it's going to be good experience because the XP rates of everything were completely messed up with EOC, but it's what we got. If we check our loadout here, our accuracy is -54. which is obviously not good. So we need to take off the steel armor to accuracy of 252. Technically, we would probably put some on to have a little bit of defense. We're still getting some defense from something here. It's giving you 1 armor bonus. The staff? We just have a magical 1 armor bonus here. Alright, sure. We're going to be fighting chickens. Because good experience, and I want some more feathers. All in all, this will work nicely. So let us get all the chickens inside here. I kind of also want Fred to be not in here. So let's open this door. And that chicken has escaped. There's a chicken inside. Yeah, we definitely need to get this perfect. All 8 chickens right here. There are 9 chicken spawns in the chickens over there and also near Falador. But they're also more spread out, so this is probably better. Seems like magic is also slower per attack, unfortunately. So it's going to be a slower experience than melee was. We can get this open, start grabbing the feathers, and grabbing magic levels, but nothing at level 16. All right. So here we go. The goal is 27. So technically by the end of this, we're going to be magic based. Not that we'll actually be able to be good with magic at that point, but still. Oh yeah, it's definitely slower. We also don't need to constantly run around, so that's a positive, I guess. I guess we will need to run to the other side periodically to get any feathers that spawned over there, but... And sometimes the chickens move and that moves us, but... There is 17 magic. For Airbolt. So, technically we could autocast Airbolt here. I don't think it's going to be very helpful against chickens. We are one-shotting them either way, so... Yep. It's gonna be a lot of this. And also this is gonna give us more Constitution experience, so that'll be nice. But in general, chicken time. 18 magic. Nothing 18. 19 magic. That is Curse, which does exist, and Taverly Teleport, which does not. Seems that with the slower attack speed of magic, there's really no time to wait around with no chickens spawned, so probably not going to be burying any bones here. Well, that's okay. 20 magic. That was a achievement. A quest requirement. Bind, Wizard Boots T, combat equipment from Fist of Guthix, Hex Crests, Elemental Mind equipment, Corrupt Zuriel Staff, Fire Staff in Daemonheim, Blight Leaf equipment in Daemonheim, Combust, Spider Wand, Blood Spindle Staff, Blood Spindle Wand, and Bright Leaf Orb. So, none of those. And here is a pop-up saying continued use of the Air Rush spell is not recommended at this magic level. You'll find more benefits from using runes to cast higher level spells. That's great and all, but Air Rush doesn't exist anymore. What a fascinating pop-up. I'm not going to worry about that. Wild. Air Rush was a spell that was added that only used air runes. But then that was removed, and now all air spells only use air runes. So, weird. Weird thing to have there. Okay. 24 Constitution. That is Insight. Okay. Get the chickens back in order here. Fred inside, chickens outside. Just takes a little bit to get this all set up again. That's okay. And there are also a bunch of imps nearby. Interesting. 21 magic. That is low-level alchemy. That could be good. Assuming we get some nature runes. If we get things that are expensive enough to warrant alching, could get more than the shop price for that, so that could be nice. That could be very useful. It's not high-level alchemy, but it's still something. 22 magic. That is nothing. Okay. 23 magic. Water bolt. And also looks like we are now magic based, because that was combat 27. Neat. Combat level is really only helpful for making some things stop being aggressive, but good to have. Good to have. 24 magic. That is pearl-tipped iron crossbow bolt enchanting. Okay, sure. Not going to ever do that. 25 Constitution. That is Portents of Restoration 3. And also Attuned. Portents of Restoration 3. And also maximum healing from anything that takes 25 cooking. So that is another good reason to get higher combat here. Also, more health for just living in general. 25 magic. Very important level. Teleport to Varrock. The first teleport spell. And probably going to be the one that we are going to be carrying around whenever we want to teleport. Being able to get to Varrock would be pretty useful. So, assuming we gather together some law runes, but still, a good idea. 26 magic. Nothing at 26. 27 magic. And that is what we were looking for here. Level 2 enchant for emeralds. And also, you can enchant emerald-tipped mithril crossbow bolts and a quest requirement. So with that, if we grabbed ourselves a Cosmic Rune from somewhere, we could enchant our amulet. I think I want to do a little bit more magic here. It is slightly awkward having to constantly buy back the Staff of Air whenever I want to do magic. So I'm going to get my money's worth here and get to the next magic milestone. Also 26 Constitution. Very good. 28 magic. Nothing. Combat level is also going up. That's 31 now. My goodness. 29 magic. That is red topaz tipped steel crossbow bolt enchanting and earth bolt. Don't really think we're going to get too much use out of the different elemental attacks. One, because they need additional runes, and two, because it's only a slight increase to accuracy against certain magic weak enemies, so for the most part, not too worth it. And also it would take another inventory space, so that's also not a positive at all. 27 Constitution. Nothing at 27. What's another combat level though? 32. There is 30 magic. That was an achievement. Quest requirements. Arcane Pulse necklace. Battle staffs which once those exist could be a very good option. They're level 30, and we can make an air battle staff for infinite air runes. Be better than a staff of air at least. Also the Scepter of the Gods, air staffs in Daemonheim, Roseblood equipment in Daemonheim, Lesser Runic Staff, Bat Wand, the Tuku Staff, the Tuku Wand, Roseblood Orb, and Magical Blast Box. Lots of stuff at level 30. And there is 31 magic. That is Lumbridge Teleport. So, another option for teleporting. Oh no! Is that the evil chicken? Somebody returned. What was that? Something happening? Okay, sure. Weird. Okay, so that's what that was. Apparently, the I have returned chicken drops the offhand rubber chicken for the Slayer collection log. That is definitely something. This exists in 2014. That's wild. Okay, sure. Now that we have a higher level, it's auto set us to Airbolt when we put on the staff. I mean, it still only costs air runes, so I guess it's fine. Like, weird. Weird things are happening. So we're gonna need to just drop this probably. Has no alch value. Can't really be stored for anything. And if we drop it, we need to get it again, but it doesn't exist yet. An interesting occurrence, though. My goodness. Okay, a second one just spawned. So now, there are 2 offhand rubber chickens on the ground. Is this like uncommon, or do we unlock it somehow? Because didn't have any of these before, now we got 2 of them. Weird. Very weird. There's a third one. This is weird. 28 Constitution. Nope. 32 magic. That is create Gatestone and Gatestone Teleport in Daemonheim. That'll be very useful for getting around in Daemonheim. And also Combat 34. 33 magic. That is the next goal level here. Many quest requirements, the Flame Burst Defender in Daemonheim, but obviously more importantly, Telekinetic Grab. Technically for the one thing I'm really wanting to do with Telekinetic Grab, we can just use the loot inventory, but telegrabbing it would be so much more appropriate. So that is where we're going to stop here. And we also have a good number of feathers, so that should work out. It seemed like we were kind of overloading the loot interface, because there's a lot of things on the ground, constantly killing chickens like this. There we go. We can switch back into the full steel, and drop the air staff as a bit of a payment for the mined runes that we never got. And with our 1,800 feathers, we can go fishing. This is really, really chaining together very nicely. Just need to go grab, well, an axe, a tinderbox, and a fly fishing rod. Well, there is 14 woodcutting. And 31 fishing. Brilliant. Nothing. And cobalt skill champas, which we could use for fishing, I guess. So, nothing. 39 cooking. That is dragon bitter, baked potato with butter, and flatfish and etiquette potatoes in Daemonheim. So, nothing. 32 fishing. No unlocks. 33 fishing. That is giant frog spawn. Neat. A lot of weird fish exist. And a lot of things are not technically fish, but fishing. It's something. 40 cooking. Very good level. That is a quest requirement. Tangled toad's legs, short-finned eels, stop burning only wraps on a range, chocolate cream cheese, and much more importantly, cake and lobster. Because those are the ones that actually exist. Also a nice level. Nice round level. Always good. 34 fishing. No unlocks. 41 cooking. That is a quest requirement where we make a jubbly. And also baked potato with chili con carne and stop burning herrings. So, slowly we are stopping burning things. But probably going to keep burning things for a while here. Because we're up to salmon and that was just herring, so. Also we're on a fire, which is also not ideal, but it's okay. 35 fishing. And this is a good unlock for us. Harpoon fishing for tuna. And also, possibly getting 2 tuna if we had 35 agility, which we don't, because that's not a thing yet. But yeah, tuna. We are not going to be moving over to tuna because it is much slower experience than trout and salmon. So we're just going to be hanging out here for a while. But if we did go and get some tuna with our 35 fishing and cook it with 30 cooking, we would have been healed 100s. But now, just 75s. So, that's okay. Just the speed of the food, we'd probably still be much better off with trout and salmon. Even though trouts are not so great. But also things don't do a huge amount of damage for the most part, so we could probably get away with it. And we also, of course, need to consider constitution level for how much things are actually going to heal. Lots of things to consider. 18 fire making. Neat. No unlocks for that, though. Very, very slowly getting woodcutting and fire making here. That's okay. Levels are levels. Will be useful in the future. 36 fishing. Technically no unlocks, but it is a quest requirement. That's good. Everything's good. Everything's great. 42 cooking. That is fried onion, topping ingredient, chocolate bombs, and chocolate cheesecake. I could go for some chocolate cheesecake. That sounds pretty good. That and the chocolate bombs. Very fun. The topping ingredient, less so. 37 fishing. No unlocks here. 15 woodcutting. Pretty important level, because we will be able to chop oak trees once oak trees exist. Also evil oak trees. That is even later. There is still only regular trees in the entire game. Pretty wild. 43 cooking. That is bass and short fin potatoes in Damonheim. Bass is a fish that doesn't exist yet. So there. 38 fishing. That is cave eels and rainbow fish. More fish that don't exist yet. 39 fishing. No unlocks. 44 cooking. That is moonlight mead, bacon heaps, raw bacon heaps, and stop burning oomly wraps on a fire. So there's a few levels between stop burning on a range and stop burning on a fire. As expected. 19 fire making. Nothing there. 40 fishing. Very good milestone. Because that is short-finned eels in Damonheim. Fishing for approval in Miscellanea, which interestingly has a golden swordfish as the icon. Sacred clay and volatile harpoons. But what really matters, and what we get, is lobster pot fishing for lobsters. 40 fishing, and also 40 cooking. Very even for lobsters. And that's not the only thing that's even with lobsters. The amount they healed has always been 120 for us. Obviously it started at 12, then 120, then 1200, but comparatively, always been the same amount of healing for lobsters. And 120 is pretty solid. Of course, we're going to need 40 constitution before that's optimal, but all things in good time. And this fishing is a pretty good time. 45 cooking. That is swordfish and meat pizza. Stop burning mackerel. Stop burning red berry pie. And strawberry cream cheese. Some of those exist. Amazing. 41 fishing. No unlocks. Just kidding. Viridian skill champas. That is not on the list. The fishing level up table on the wiki. Could change that if I felt like it. Don't really feel like it right now. Anybody that sees this, go ahead, try to do it if you want. Whatever. 46 cooking. That is fried mushrooms. Oh boy, more toppings. And short fin and gissel potatoes in Damonheim. Woo! 16 woodcutting. Nothing there. 42 fishing. Actually nothing this time. Working as intended. 47 cooking. That is fish pie. It's a pie that doesn't exist yet. Baked potatoes with butter and cheese. Stop burning thin snail. And strawberry cheesecake. Yeah, we only have some pies. Additional pie updates in the future. Look forward to it. 43 fishing. No. 20 fire making. Actually, some stuff here. Quest requirements: iron spits, iron pyre logs, blood spindle branches, oak incense sticks, impious oak incense sticks, Harlander incense sticks. We're really gonna get 3 unlocks at all the same time every time we unlock an incense stick, huh? Alright. Very good. 48 cooking. Cheese. Stop burning spider. Stop burning scrambled egg topping. That is a combination of foods. My goodness. 44 fishing. Nothing. 49 cooking. That is Axeman Folly, Shorefin and Eggcap potatoes in Damonheim. And something actually useful in the stop burning department. Stop burning trout. Just period. No burning trout ever again. Stop burning cod on a range. And stop burning bacon, stacks, piles, heaps, and mounds. I don't think we've even gotten the cooking requirement to cook these last bacon bits. Weird. Anyways, we will always cook our trout. So that's good. And also, that means with 49 cooking, that is our highest skill. So that's nice. It has taken a little bit, and the levels are definitely getting slower at this point. Even if the XP rate is slightly increasing because we're catching more fish and all, XP per level is ramping up. But also 17 wood cutting. For nothing. 45 fishing. You would think that'd be something, being as that is a 5s, but nope. Nothing. 21 fire making. That is a quest requirement. Wild. And barbarian fire making, normal and ashy logs. Don't think we're really going to do barbarian fire making. Not too useful. 50 cooking. And that is our first level 50 skill. Pretty cool. We're halfway there, right? That is Umli wraps, web snippers, stop burning lean snail, and actually unlocks chocolate cakes. We really need to go to the Cook's Guild at some point here. We have flown straight past the level requirement for that quite a while ago. 46 fishing. That is bass from Big Net Fishing. So that is the full Big Net experience. 51 cooking. That is baked potato with egg and tomato. And stop burning cod on fire. Amazing. 47 fishing. No unlocks. 18 wood cutting. Now. 48 fishing. We've been fishing trout, so how about leaping trout with the heavy rod? Barbarian heavy rod fishing. Also requires 15 agility and doesn't exist, so regular trout it is. 52 cooking. That is lemon cheesecake and desert souls. Menaphos fishing. That is a good fishing method. Although I don't think there's any trees right there, so probably just a fishing method for our tastes. Once that exists. Once that exists. 22 fire making. Nothing. 49 fishing. There is no unlocks. 53 cooking. That is a quest requirement. Lava eels. Snipper potatoes in Daemonheim. And stop burning. Pike, meat pie, needle tea, and sweet corn. Yay. 50 fishing. That is a quest requirement, web snippers, and the highest level fish that currently exists. Swordfish. Also a possibility of 2 swordfish if we were 50 agility, but we're not. And so, after a very significant amount of fishing, that is everything unlocked. Still getting more fishing levels would of course get faster fishing, so that's still useful. But there is swordfish. 50 fishing, 45 cooking. Have always healed 140. So that is as good as we're going to get. Pretty much at all. One of the higher levels for cooking requirements. And even the ones that are higher level don't quite heal as much. And are multiple bites, so Swordfish. Not bad. Oh, we're what? Like 1-2 fish away from 54 cooking? Sure. Well, that is enough fishing for now. My goodness. And let's be clear, that was a lot of fishing. It really, really was. But I think I'm ready to continue moving on to more updates, because we are not done quite yet. On July 13th, 2001, a news post was made giving people a handy guide on how to just stop giving people your password. I believe this ties into the changes to the password recovery system. And this was part of the problem. People were just giving their passwords away. My goodness. Pro tip, don't do that. Had to make an entire news post about it. Classic. And then, on July 26th, 2001, banks are finally useful. I mean, I guess you could store your coins in there previously. And speaking of coins, if we take out our unholy symbol money, or holy symbol specifically, it's an unholy amount of money from holy symbols, but also they're not holy symbols yet. Whatever. Withdraw gets our total cash stack up to 68,504, which sounds like a lot, but there is expensive things in the future. So that'll be at least an okay start. But anyways, banks can now hold up to 48 different items. We've got 0. That's going to remain that way. But yeah, 48 whole things that you can put in your bank. And they can stack. So, that's good. Also, in this update, now that you can put things in your bank, why not have some better things that you can get from drops and buy from shops and all that? So we get some rune equipment for the first time, most of which is down here in the Champions Guild. Head on up here and talk to Scavo. Hello, matey. You want to buy some exciting new toys? Let's have a look then. Why do you sell most Runari but not plate bodies? Goody goody toys. Toys are for kids. Not these. This is rune equipment. Not all of these things, my goodness. But there's a few of them here. We have the rune plate legs and plate skirts, the rune mace, the rune chain body, the rune sword, and the rune longsword. Some of these are, I think, besides the mace, it looks like all these are less expensive somehow. Chain is pretty close, 41 instead of 64, 41 instead of 50. The legs are very cheap comparatively. I guess that's mostly down to the amount of bars that things were changed to require. Because chains are more now, legs are less. But 25,000 instead of 64,000? Basically a steal. And then swords, maces, and long swords are all 16,000. Technically, the mace is more weird. And then there is one other piece of rune equipment in the game that you can't get in the shop. And that is the Rune Medium Helmet, dropped from Lesser Demons. So, you can get yourself some rune equipment from the store here and go hunt the helmet, because that's the best helmet. So that's pretty cool. And then the last bit of this update was the removal of player-owned houses. The ones in Falador, but first, the ones over here in Varrock. So instead of a gate here, which you can't go through, we've now got more open fields and stuff. Basically, we can just walk out here. And this also means we can now walk around this way to get to the mine over here. So that's pretty neat. Don't have to worry about not being able to go this direction. Now, the technology exists. So we can get down here. And the edge of the world is like right over here. So there's not really too much else out here. There's definitely no divination energy rift or archaeology encampment or dig site or ancient underground city or big rift. There's no statue. There's no room crafting altar. There is still this pub here, so that exists. That's pretty cool. And there's also no lumber mill here. That's okay. We will be here in the future, as this is the only place you can get planks for construction. So we're going to be spending a decent amount of time running back and forth to right here. Only later. Huh. Okay. Well, this is technically more accurate, there not being a lumber mill here. But we're going to need to worry about that in the future. Okay. Anyways, we also need to go check out Falador. So, let's go over there now. There really is not much to see over here in Eastern Falador. We've got a bunch of houses right here, and then a larger mansion up north. That is pretty much it. Everything else here is missing. Everyone, like all the guards and the Herald of Falador and the party room with Party Pete. This very convenient building over here in the corner, which has a staircase down into the Dwarven Mine. Well, that's not out yet. Very unfortunate for us, as it would be really nice to get down into the Dwarven Mine. That'd be lovely. And then to the south, there is no Arson's Workshop. Over here, there's no bank. There's already a bank on the other side of Falador, so that's okay. And there also is not a mining guild. Although, there is a mining guild on August 13th, 2001. To go down here, we would need 60 mining. And all that's down there is some mithril and coal. But there's not really that down there anymore. There is some coal, but runite and orichalcite. So, No mithril. Just another part of the dwarven mines that's slightly weird. But if we could get down there, it'd probably still be faster than going up to Ice Mountain. And then back to Falador to get to the furnace. Might just need to wait on that. It really depends on how much mining and smithing we want to get up to. But for now, the existence of the mining guild doesn't really help us, since we can't get in there. Well, that's okay. We are making our way north. And looking at more of the update. The stats menu was improved to show current experience and XP to next level. Very helpful bits of information to have if you're wanting to calculate what you're trying to do. And by looking at the experience after each action, you can actually get accurate information about how much experience things give. So that is a pretty big deal. Very useful to have information. And then we are going to run to a new city. Because there's a new city now. Ain't that fun? Right through Barbarian Village here. And heading to the north. There is no this building right here. No Elder Trees. No Soul Wars portal. We've got this ruin still, with an entrance down into the dungeon. But more interestingly, Edgeville is now actually a place. It's got a bank, amazing, and it's got a general store. Oh boy. Same as any other general store, just kind of up here. And that's okay. It's a good bank if you're going to be venturing down into the Edgeville dungeon. A very helpful location to restock, especially since you can now actually have things inside of your bank. A brilliant plan. Brilliant. But the main bit of this update lies even further north. Because we've got the wilderness. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. The main use of the wilderness is to be the new PvP zone. Being able to switch between PKing and non-PKing accounts was removed, and PvP can only happen out there. And to entice people that don't particularly want to go risking their items, there's actually some pretty good stuff out there. Stuff like rune rocks. So you can now mine runite ore, make runite bars, and smith the remaining rune equipment. Assuming you have all the levels for that. Because, my goodness, that is easier said than done. Also added are a few new monsters, like a Greater Demon, which is just about the strongest thing out there, and can drop the Rune Full Helmet, which is pretty cool. Just a slightly better helmet from a slightly stronger demon, where the lesser demons drop the medium helmets. Makes a lot of sense. But were we to venture out into the wilderness, we would be up against much more dangerous foes than a greater demon. Like dragons literally spawning in our face. Not something we are prepared for whatsoever. We're going to need very good reasons to try to venture into the wilderness. And we're going to need to be as prepared as possible. Now is not that time. As for places that exist in the wilderness, it's also pretty bare out there. And the official RuneScape Classic world maps intentionally left off the wilderness. So any map created had to be done by the players. So slightly lower quality here. We've got such locations as the Chaos Altar, the Graveyard, Ruins to the west, the Lava Maze, a tiny chunk of the Ice Plateau, and 3 different mines. The furthest north one being the one with the rune rocks. So way out there, past all the various monsters with threat of PvP. Truly a dangerous place to be. There's going to be reasons that we're going to need to go out there, but not right now. Not right now. We can make use of one thing that was added with the wilderness, though, and that is big bones. There's a few spawns out there, and they also drop from giants. So that's a pretty solid choice for combat training, and get a solid chunk of prayer along the way, because big bones are better than small bones. Fun fact. So much of the wilderness has been changed that we really can't do too much with it. And it's, honestly, I'd say probably more dangerous at this stage. Even with PvP removed, the amount of high-level enemies just thrown around nearly at random, covering basically the whole place. Not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. And so, we will acknowledge that it exists and stay well clear of it as we continue moving forwards with even more updates. On August 18th, 2001, we had a few more changes with the wilderness and all that. You can't teleport over 20 wilderness anymore. So now it's even more dangerous. Oh boy. As if it wasn't dangerous enough. Also, we got a bank here in eastern Varrock, and also one down in Drainer Village. Just adding a few more banks now that they actually do something. Seems like a reasonable idea. Your friends will now appear as green dots on the minimap. You can see your combat level in the stats menu. And drops from monsters, or possibly even players, hard to say. Drops go to the player that did the most damage, and experience is split proportionally. So, presumably, it was previously some kind of last person to get the hit gets everything system, which again obviously is not ideal. So that's an improvement. Not something we need to worry about, since Ironman and all that. And we continue moving on. On August 21st, 2001, the servers went offline because the hosting company had a power failure and no backups, apparently. Or no backup power. So, that wasn't great. Server issues have been a problem over the years, sometimes worse than others. But at the start here, it makes a bit more sense. Especially since it was 2001. On September 9th, 2001, we got the 4th world. So now our world hopping is even better. Love to see it. And the very next day, we got another update on how the servers were doing. September 10th, 2001. People are having worse connection to the new servers. And people weren't clicking on banner ads enough to justify the costs. And changing ISPs again wouldn't be possible. So it was really getting difficult here. As far as a business, which was only being funded from banner ads at this point. So decisions were having to be made here. And that's moving forwards to future updates and things that are going to happen. And now, we've finally come to the actual update that we needed to get to. On September 23rd, 2001, Dragon Slayer was released. As we can see here, this is the final quest in 2001, and it is dangerous. You need to fight a demon, a dragon. Levels much higher than ours are recommended. Item required, massive amounts, many different things, and a few new places exist. We bring up the map here. We've got Melzar's Maze, the Port Sarim Jail, and Crandor. Places we will visit during the quest. And all of this to be worthy of wielding the rune plate body. Of course, we are nowhere close to being able to wield the rune plate body, although we're still in the you can wield everything at any level time, so wielding a rune plate body at level 1, or 3, or 1 defense at least, that'd be very, very good armor to have. But if we want to finish Dragon Slayer, we're going to need to keep working on that. We are at level 34 in full steel, and that's really not going to cut it. We need more things. We've been working, as we got to this point, getting fishing and cooking up for the best food in the game, getting some money together, but we still need to train all of our stats, specifically melee, possibly prayer. We'll see how much that would actually even help. But one thing we also still will need, especially into the future, is more coins. If we're going to be able to afford all of the different armor upgrades moving forwards here, we are going to need more coins. And our best money-making method is still the silver stars, symbols. So we're back to Alcarid. I'm gonna just drop these feathers, drop this fly fishing rod, Drop this hatchet. Yeah, I suppose drop this tinderbox. Don't really need that. I guess we need to go to Lumbridge first, but either way. We can easily get between Lumbridge and Alcarid, so that's fine. And I do have more crafting goals I also want to get to. See this diamond? So we're going to get back to making just a whole big old pile of uncharged holy symbols. Sell them to the store. Make some money. 48 mining. That is higher critical swing against adamantite and luminite rocks. Higher chance of finding geodes from the same. We are not going to be mining any adamantite for a long time. What we do get is more silver ore. Since we're now wielding the emerald in an amulet here, we've got an extra inventory space to work with. So that's good. Would technically speed this up ever so slightly. So that's nice. 32, crafting. As a quest requirement, spiky vambraces, plain mining urns, roseblood shoes, and topaz necklaces. None of those exist. 33, crafting. Vials, clockwork mouses, arch leather boots, carapace helms, batwood hoods, plain rune crafting urns. Nope. There have been a lot of things added to crafting. My goodness. 34, crafting. Cut ruby, ruby ring, blood, or rose blood hood, carapace legs, batwing legs, jade amulets, plain hunter urns. So, now we can do something. If we get a ruby, it turn into a ring. Cool. Would be worth more if we did that, so that's nice. 35, crafting. 2 quest requirements. Broodoo shields, plain smelting urns, arch leather coifs, carapace torsos, batwing torsos. Nope. 36, crafting. That is 2 more quests. Fruit baskets, plain cooking urns, roseblood, robe bottoms, carapace shields, batwing books, roseblood, robes, arc leather shields. Lots more stuff in Daemonheim. Nothing for us. 37, crafting. Rabbit foot necklaces, arch leather chaps, batwing wand. Nope. 49, mining. Adamantite, illuminate, rocks, double ore mining. Cool. 38, crafting. Studded leather coif, roseblood top, batwing shield, roseblood orb, topaz bracelet, plain divination urn. Nope. 39, crafting. Only one thing for this level. Arch leather body. Wild. It's been a lot more than one thing. Most levels here. My goodness. 40, crafting. That's an achievement. Milestone level 40. Very good. Multiple quest requirements. Milestone cape, level 40. Willow pirate ships, bridal gloves, access to the crafting guild, plain farming urns, and the one thing that actually exists, ruby necklaces. 50 mining. Very good level. That is quest requirements. Concentrated sandstone, rune pickaxe, sacred clay pickaxe, volatile pickaxe, zephyrium ore, and zephyrium pickaxe in Daemonheim, and runite ore. Runite ore technically exists, but that takes 85 mining, not 50. So, not even close. Not even close. 41, crafting. As a quest requirement, studded body, plain fishing urn, drum of leather van braces. Nope. 42 crafting. As a quest requirement, fish bowl, ruby bracelet, bridle shoes, studded leather gloves. Nothing for us. And there is level 43 crafting. The level I was going for. That is a quest requirement. Yak hide leg armor, Droma leather boots, studded leather boots, and actually cut diamond and diamond ring. Diamond rings are going to be very useful later, once they can be enchanted to be rings of life. But that is not what this diamond is for. Oh no. What this diamond is for being cut. I'm going to sell these unstrung symbols. Our total cash stack, if we withdraw all this, is 110,000. Seems like a lot, but we are going to blow straight through that. Buy a chisel. And cut our diamond. Beautiful. I'm not going to drop all this in case I decide to do more crafting immediately. But that is pretty much all of the non-combat skills taken care of. And magic, I guess. Hello, guards. We've got a dragon to slay. So what we need is combat stats and equipment. We've got an uncharged emerald amulet and full steel. That's not going to cut it. So we need to pick our targets with a bit of effort, get some levels, and by some I mean a lot, and not quite as many as this episode maybe. We got over 100 levels here. It was crazy. But combat. Not just on chickens. Next time. Goodbye.